The S&P 500 again gets a little bit of a bounce. We see equities. We have to talk about Nvidia, what's happening with Tesla rallying back almost through it. It's through the 200 SMA and bulls getting back involved in the market. Now, Donald Trump, it's been kind of quiet out of the camp, right? We haven't heard too much. He's been talking, but in my opinion, you've seen him do what Don Draper said in Mad Men. If people don't like what's being said, if people don't like what they're hearing, change what they're hearing, change the narrative. That's kind of what we've seen over the past few days. Now, again, the question is does it stick, right? Because right now it's kind of been putting Band-Aids and lipstick on a pig, if you will. But in the short term, you're seeing buyers do what they need to do. Now, I will say you're seeing it with pretty minimal volume. You go to historical data, we go over to SPY and look. Again, your volume is non-existent, right? It's low. We went from having pretty high volume days on selling to seeing low volume and even lower volume on the day. Now, I want to make this very clear. You don't need to see high volume to get continuation in a direction up or down. But when you're spotting a reversal, a break, or reversal of trend, you typically want to see some sign. And you're not really seeing that right now, which has me concerned. We'll talk about that, but let's go over everything in detail. We're going to go to the charts here in a second, so just bear with me, okay? So a few things though, right? I want to let you guys know when we're going in the charts. We need to be reactive traders. That is the name of the game. That is what we do. We have levels, we spot things out, we know what we're looking for. On the channel, we talked about it. We were looking for downside, but what did we say? Above 20,001, 2, you are looking for upside, potentially a push back near the 200 SMA. Right? So it's understanding what to look for, why. Again, you go into what we were talking about last night, this morning in Discord, right? So far coming into that 20,406 is mentioned, right? That key level, which is basically where we sat at for a bulk of the day. Above this level, we have a lot of upside towards 20,600, right? Again, what stocks were we trading last night in Discord as well? This is at 7 p.m. last night. What were we looking at? Number one, if you're in Discord, I recommend checking this out late at night. I'm going to be posting these every night as well, so make sure you tap in. Amazon, we were looking for the push into 205.5 to 206 and then 207. Again, you ended the day on Amazon at that level. As you can see, pushing up throughout the day, trying to break and get the next push, which you're already getting. You go back to the next one. What were we looking at here? Again, Apple into 223.5 to 224. Ended the day there. You go into the next one, Meta. Again, this is all mentioned last night. Above the 100 SMA, pushing into 233, then 230 or 632, 637. Boom, you hit that. This is again before markets ever even opened. Filling the gap into 986 over that, pushing near 1,000. You hit that as well. Again, everything was mentioned there for you. We mentioned Tesla today. Again, I don't care if you're going up, down, sideways. Option Drops is going to figure out what to do and how to attack the market. It's about being unbiased every single session and every single day. This morning, again, Tesla, you opened up. Guess what? You opened up at the 200 SMA and you rejected. We mentioned the short. We mentioned the downside. Jordan mentioned it. And the watch list, I believe, this morning as well. And he mentioned it also inside of Discord. You guys can go check that out and read that all for you right here. Oh, but if the 200 SMA acts as resistance, looking for a retest of where? 273.9. Look at this drop. Rejection, 273.9. You bounce right back up. What do we say there in Discord right there? Good hold, looking for the upside. Boom, back into highs. Again, Discord link, optiondrops.com. If you're interested in learning more about us, the link is down below to trade with us, see what we're doing every single day. It's been slow for the past few days, but we're back on the saddle. We're back to the grind, right? That's what we're looking at. So again, pay attention. We're going to lock in because, again, a lot of this stuff has been mentioned here on the channel as well. So the first thing as far as fundamental views, what's happening out there in the market is Trump with tariffs. Now, again, what is interesting? What's changed with the tone of tariffs and Trump? Now, I still believe fundamentally nothing has changed. I think the Fed is basically pricing in one rate cut for the rest of the year, which is bad news bears. I think tariffs will make inflation surge over time, even if it's just a little bit. I think unemployment rates will get hit negatively as well, but this will take time. And this most likely in the short term could cause stagflation. And that's the major concern from the Fed. So we have to just wait, play it by ear. But again, the Fed is in no hurry. You saw Trump today say he hopes they cut, whatever. That's what he said. Okay. Now, it's more about what's happening with these second set of tariffs and the narrow set of reciprocal tariffs, right? It was this notion that he was just going to hammer everyone with the same set of tariffs, and now he's more pinpointing. He's also said that semiconductors will happen down the line. We don't really know when that's going to happen. Technology, etc. Some of these goods, things along those lines. I will say though, again, these things sound sweet in the short term because we've only heard bad, tariff. So now we're getting a little bit of a different tune. And this is kind of what happened when he was elected, right? It was day one, we're hammering Mexico, Canada, 25% tariffs, right? We didn't do that day one. It was a little bit of a pause. We gave a little leeway. Did we eventually get there? Yes. But it caused the market when he was elected to get a little bit of a surge because it was the idea that there was good news coming out. So again, this is where we're at. And we're already seeing China battle back at us. They're the ones that are definitely being the most stern, coming back at us with these tariffs as well, which will, again, affect goods pricing. That's going to be the biggest thing. So again, it's good in the short term. Long term, I don't think it's that great, right? Now, will he start adding tariffs towards semiconductors? We'll see. When he does, it's not going to be good news. I do believe he will have leeway for some of these companies that are going to be building in America. That is my personal opinion. I think he's trying to buy them time and kind of give them good faith because of the investments they're making here in the States, which makes logical sense. That makes sense. Like anyone would agree with that, right? Now, there's not too much other news. I recommend you guys follow on Twitter though if you want to get more updates throughout the day, what I'm looking at, different charts, etc. I'm posting this all throughout the day. QQQ hit the 200 SMA, rejected as we posted there. Not a lot going on, but again, Apple, we're looking for that 228 touch as well. Now, when we're looking at the action, looking at where we're at as a whole, I want to start with NASDAQ. I'll go into more SPY and things along those lines, okay? So number one, the NASDAQ, I need to go to a higher set of time frames, 4 hour, 1 day. I don't believe this area here is very liquid, okay? Basically, 20,607 all the way down to 20,500. I don't believe there's a lot of liquidity. What does that mean? When you get in this range, you'll probably move quick. Back and forth. If you break down, break up, you'll move quick. I don't think you'll find too many speed bumps in this range, right? Or resistance levels in the short term. So I do expect some quick movement if buyers can maintain this and keep this going. And you started breaking out near the end of the day in the after hours as well. So it's a good sign there. Now, the concern for me is that volume that's taking place, right? This really terrible 35 million of volume on SPY. We'll go into that on SPY in a second. But look at what's happening throughout the day. And this has been the story. This is what you've been seeing, right? So yesterday, for instance, this is Monday. You can see we don't really move during market hours. We kind of just sit flat for the basically entire part of the day, just sit in a box, right? Markets close around going into, let me go right here. Markets close right about, I'm going to be dead set on this time. About right here, you chop overnight. This morning, 3 a.m. hits, London session, boom, you shoot up, right? Markets open right about here. You kind of just chop in a 60-point range between 20,460 and then around 20,420, 40, 60-point range and do nothing, right? So you're spending a bulk of the actual New York session not doing much. That being said, you're making higher lows and sellers are doing nothing, but you're getting back in your level, trying to break up. I'd be willing to bet tonight we get more of the move in the pre-market than we do during the actual session, but we'll wait, we'll see. And then you go into equities like NVIDIA, again, doing nothing. NVIDIA, like end of the day, red, which is crazy. The market moves up another 120 points during the session, and NVIDIA does nothing. Terrible. AVGO semiconductor, still terrible, right? Kind of breaking the overall structure. Not really breaking down yet. I wouldn't get bearish yet. But again, that's where you're at. So this is the problem, is that the move from the bulls doesn't seem that great. Now, the one stock that is carrying, I will say, is like the big tech names, right? And maybe communications to a certain extent. Apple pushing up. Monster day again, around $3. Decent day, right? So again, from 220 into your next level, trying to go to your next level, just stepping up every day, it seems. Amazon, another decent day, right? Just pushing up over time here today. Tesla, pretty decent day. You go into Meta, another pretty decent day. End of the day, not as good. Microsoft, decent day. So it's again, you've seen semis be the backbone, the big part, but again, you're not seeing the buyers coming into it, even though that's the bright spot of the news with Trump. So for me, that's the curveball. That's the part that I'm like, I don't love. And I'll tell you right now, whenever and you'll notice this, whenever NVIDIA doesn't follow the NASDAQ to the upside or the downside, typically those are some of the worst days to trade. Now today, I'm not saying I made a little bit of money today, nothing crazy, but again, you'll notice trading the Nasdaq here was pretty gross. It wasn't great. Like you didn't get a lot of follow through continuation until the very end of the day. Same thing with yesterday. So again, that's the concern with me when I look at the market as a whole. You go into SPY, again, you're holding above the 200 SMA, you're looking good. You're breaking above the 200 SMA, but you're not seeing buyers stepping into the market. Do we understand that that's an issue? Like you're breaking a major level, but not seeing the signs. For instance, when you broke below the 200 SMA and you held for your first day, you literally went from 567 Monday, March 10th to lows of March 10th right here down to 555. That was about a $14 move on SPY. Just worth mentioning, yesterday you gapped above 570, you reached highs of 574. Today you opened up at 574, into the day at 575. Nothing's really happening. You're not seeing the continuation yet. But again, it's hard to go to the defense of saying, okay, well, let's grab shorts. And that's why I haven't been holding shorts overnight. If you're in Discord, you've seen what we've traded. I've gone through everything, right? Only trade that held overnight was Reddit. That was the only one that held overnight, right? But again, it's important to understand what's taking place and what's moving right now. And again, while you're right where you're at right now, I don't see that opportunity. It still looks like when you look at Nasdaq, you're trying to push the 200, the Dow trying to hit their 200, your ES trying to, maybe get a move to your 200. We'll see the reaction that we get if we come back into those levels, but we want to be patient until those points. Just trade the intraday action. So again, am I getting net bullish on the market as a whole? No, I'm not yet, until we're above the 200 SMA on the Nasdaq and ES futures specifically. In the short term, I am looking at the ranges towards the upside for intraday trading. There's a big difference, short term, long term, etc., and understand the overall bias and movement of the market where we're at right now. So again, what I'm looking at. Now, I mentioned Qs coming into the 200 SMA. I tweeted this out. We had a little bit of a short here in Discord as well. As we mentioned, called that out. You can go see right here in Discord, OD Technicals. Right here, went short right here. Literally as we hit it, 200 SMA, we'd be looking for downside. You ended up pushing down like almost $3, $2.50, give or take, to the downside, bounce back up. But again, how you're moving, you're just ending the day right there at the 200 SMA. We'll see how we open up tomorrow. Very key, very important. We'll see if buyers can keep coming back in the market here. But again, in my opinion, if you're trying to long NASDAQ, QQQ, if NVIDIA and semis don't get involved here, I don't like it. Okay, I want to see semiconductors find buyers. They have been the staple, okay, for market movement, market sentiment. You go back to the big dip in January, that was led by semiconductors. You look at the big dip recently, I would say NVIDIA was one of the biggest leaders for the downside as well. So what we're looking at there. We go into something like IWM, what's taking place? Not a lot of movement. Gap up from Monday, nothing else happening. So quickly, we're going to run into equities, what we're looking at there moving forward, and how I'm attacking this going into tomorrow. So some of the biggest, best names right now, I think Netflix has just been moving great. You're back at your $1,000 level here, so I'd be a little bit cautious. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Coming into this level, I would be cautious, okay? If you can get above this, I think you have room towards 1,007, 1,010, pushing up to that region. But again, I would be careful. I would not be betting the house just yet unless you can confidently get above that level. Semiconductors as a whole, very concerning, kind of steering clear. NVIDIA, I get bullish above 121.8. Above that, you can start breaking out to 124, possibly getting a move into your 200 SMA as well. But until then, I'd be looking for a rejection and continuation to the downside because you're just not finding those buyers yet. I'm not looking to short. I don't want to trade the short yet until NASDAQ gives me some weakness as well. Tesla, this is the big dog on campus. Breaking above your 200 SMA. If you can hold your 200 SMA, you're looking for pushing your 300, 297, $300. Easy money. That's what you're looking for. Maybe even your highs back here, so 301, 302. But above your 200, this is a very easy trade, easy to watch. You know exactly where your stops are. Perfect trade overall. Amazon looking for a break and hold of 206 basically to push into 208 for the gap fill, and maybe like 209, 210. We'll see what happens there as well. Big fan of it. It's been moving great. Some of the mid caps, Palantir. We talked about Palantir. Instead, if it held 85, 86, you're looking for the push. You made higher lows, looking for the push back into 99, 100. Got a gap fill there as well. That's what you're looking at on Palantir. Robinhood, again, it's been a good name. You're getting back above your level here, right here, 43, 44. You broke above, now you have a gap. I'd be concerned, though. If Robinhood starts breaking back below this little level here, right about there, $47, you break below that, I'm looking for the gap fill. You hold above this, I'm looking for continuation. So far, I will say in the short term, it looks like you're making a little bit of a bull flag here. Again, that's what you like to see. So again, if you keep that up, you're looking for a break and continuation into $51, $50, around $3 of upside. MicroStrategy, taking advantage of the move from Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we talked about it yesterday, holding your 200 SMA, pushing back up. Now, the real question is, can Bitcoin get back above 92, 93K? If that happens, you look really good. I think MicroStrategy is actually probably overbought here. I think people are just FOMOing in. We'll see what happens. You're still making lower highs in the longer term trend. We'll see what happens here. The question, though, is can you start to break out? You're above your 100 MA and your 200. Overall, you look decent. If you want to trade crypto, I think Coinbase is a better opportunity back near 200 SMA of 230, 232. Short-term targets, 220, 221. Easy views right there. What I'd be watching overall. Micron, I don't talk about it enough, but again, I know a lot of you guys like Micron. You got to break above the 200 SMA to go long. 103 as of right now. Until that happens, can't do nothing. Keep it off my chart. Costco holding a big level here, 919. You're holding above a monster level, one of our big levels over the past, almost going back to August. Yeah, August of 2024. Over 920, 921. I am bullish into around 944 and then 962. Good overall name. Took a hit. Bouncing back, potential double bottom, breaking over the neckline as well. 923, very bullish name. Looks very strong in the short term right now. AMD, I think it looks awesome. Psych, I still fucking hate this name. Don't put this on my chart. Terrible. Don't care. Maybe hit the 100 SMA. I won't be involved. NVIDIA is 10 billion times better of a company. Don't care. Advanced Money Destroyer. You're welcome. I don't even care if it goes up. I still hate it. HIMS trying to bounce as well, getting over your level back here. Again, we flagged it out for you. I'm even drawing pictures on the chart for you, ladies and gentlemen. You're mounting back above, basically 35, above 35, 36. You're looking for the upside. Got a gap fill near $40, and your next level is around 45. Still looks decent, trying to hold up, get a continuation. That's overall what you want to see. That's what I'm looking at broad in the market right now, guys. If you have questions, let me know down below. What I'll say here, though, guys, don't fall in love with the trade right now. Be patient. When you're going into these setups, you're going into your trading session, when you're on this channel, what I'm doing, when I'm going over it, just make notes. Use it as an indicator, but make sure it lines up with your TA. It lines up with what you're thinking and your bias for the day. And again, stop going into it with the mentality of I need to be taking 10 trades a day, 5 trades a day. Go into it with the mentality of I only want to take good setups, right? Not making money is far different than losing money on bad trades. I can only say it so many times. Be patient, let the good setups come out, and again, you'll notice a significant change, a significant difference in your quality of trades. In Discord, for instance, basically Thursday of last week to Monday of this week, I was pretty dry with my trades, just trading futures back and forth. Today, we got a lot of great setups. I called them all out, like 5 for 5 on the day. Awesome setups. Why? Because we finally just waited for a good day. All the steps we wanted to hit, everything just aligned with exactly with the trade plan and how it played out. Again, when you're patient and you just let the trades, you'll have bad days. You are going to have bad days. But when you go into it with the mentality of, I don't need to make the money. I don't need to trade 20 times. I just need to wait for a good setup. Because again, you'll notice everything shifts with your paradigm and the way that you're viewing your trades and your strategy as a whole. Be patient, take advantage of the opportunities when they're in front of you, and you'll notice a massive change. If you have questions, let me know down below. Twitter link, Discord link, all that's down below as well. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.